864 words within target range. Here's the script. The Apple part sparing system is still logging every repair you make, right now, and the FTC can't stop it. A single microchip handshake decides whether your new battery, screen, or camera actually functions after a repair. The Federal Trade Commission published a report in 2021 calling this exact practice an illegal restraint on repair. It never stopped. It's still running on every iPhone sold since, quietly logging which parts came from Apple's supply chain and which didn't. I'm about to show you the log entry that proves it never went away. Officially, parts pairing exists for security. Every serialized component, battery, screen, camera, Face ID module gets paired to your phone's logic board through Apple's server infrastructure during activation. Apple says this stops thieves from harvesting parts off stolen phones and reselling them on gray markets. It says the system protects you from counterfeit batteries that could overheat or fail without warning. On paper, that's a defensible safety case, and for years, regulators mostly accepted it at face value. But independent repair shops noticed something the marketing never mentioned. The system didn't just detect fraud. It detected them, any repair outside Apple's authorized network, even using a legitimate salvaged part pulled from another undamaged iPhone, triggered the identical lockout reserved for counterfeit hardware. Here's what it's actually doing in practice. Swap a battery from one iPhone 12 into another, and battery health data quietly vanishes from settings. No percentage, no cycle count, just service. Swap a screen and True Tone silently disables. No error, no pop-up, just a slightly wrong color temperature most owners never notice. Swap a camera module after a crackback repair, and Face ID can start failing intermittently, with zero explanation offered anywhere in the interface. Every one of these parts pings Apple's authentication servers during first boot after the repair. The phone doesn't ask permission to run that check. It runs it silently, logs the mismatch permanently to the device's internal service history, and disables the affected feature while the rest of the interface reports everything as normal. Repair technicians started calling this bricking by omission. 3 years later, it's still running. In 2021, the FTC's Nixing the Fix report named this exact behavior anti-competitive and urged federal action. State legislatures moved next. California, Minnesota, Oregon, and Colorado all passed right-to-repair laws between 2023 and 2024, specifically targeting parts serialization and the refusal to sell components. Apple responded by launching a self-service repair program, framed publicly as full compliance, genuine parts, unlocked, problem solved, according to every press release that followed. Except the pairing requirement stayed fully intact, even for parts purchased directly through Apple's own program. You still had to register the serial number through Apple's cloud before the part would activate at full function. The regulators who declared victory never audited whether the mechanism underneath the sale had actually changed. That's the part nobody reported. The laws targeted the refusal to sell parts. Not one of them touched the pairing architecture itself, the software handshake between component and logic board that silently verifies a serial number against Apple's servers before enabling full function, regardless of where the part came from. That distinction is everything, and it's the loophole that keeps the whole system alive. Selling the part satisfies the statute. Requiring cloud verification to unlock it does not violate a single line currently on the books, because no lawmaker defined repair broadly enough to cover an invisible authentication step buried inside the firmware. Apple complies with the letter of every law passed against it, while the underlying system, the one flagging unauthorized configurations in real time since at least 2021, keeps running exactly as designed. Still there, still logging, still technically legal. Here's what that means for your phone right now today. If you've ever had a screen, battery, or camera replaced anywhere other than an authorized Apple location, there's a real chance a feature on your device is silently degraded: dimmer color accuracy, a missing battery percentage, a Face ID that occasionally just refuses without cause. You were never notified when it happened. There's no settings alert that reads, "This part failed verification." Apple's own support pages mention genuine parts messaging, but never explain what data gets transmitted to trigger it. The only trace lives inside a diagnostics menu almost nobody opens, buried under parts and service history. Pull it up right now. If it reads unable to verify this part, that's the system functioning exactly as designed, quietly recording that you stepped outside Apple's authorized loop, and adjusting your phone's behavior accordingly, permanently, without ever asking. So who benefits from a repair restriction that survived an FTC report and 4 separate state laws? Apple's device services revenue climbed every single year this system stayed active. The regulators who exposed it in public testimony moved on to other fights entirely. And the log keeps writing on your phone this exact second, whether you asked for it or not. If the people whose entire job was stopping this couldn't touch the mechanism itself, what makes you think your next repair will be any different?